It's the lonely job at the top.
That's right.
Do what?
We said you look lonely, and Dan said it's lonely at the top.
Welcome home, Ray Welder.
I had to go get me a glass of wine.
At this time, I'll call the meeting of the Murray City Council to order. Welcome to those who are visiting us remotely. We'll have a moment of reflection, after which I will lead in the pledge. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the
of the United States of
America and to the republic
for
which it
stands
stands, one
one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, we'll consider the minutes of the November the 12th council meeting.
Move we accept minutes.
I had a motion to accept
Second.
and a second. Are there any questions or discussion? If not, all in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
If opposed, no. The minutes are approved. Madam Clerk, do we have a quorum?
All council members are present.
Okay. Under the mayor's report, Mr. Osborne, bring us up to date on the utilities situation.
Right, Mayor, and Council, good evening. As you're aware, we started the process well over a month ago of notifying customers. And I updated you at the last meeting on that, where we're at. When it was all said and done and the cutoffs were done on the 16th, we had 131 out of 500 total that were disconnected. As of the meeting tonight, there are only 54 left out of the 500 that have not made arrangements to make a payment. So after speaking with Danetta and Kim and Tina, we believe a lot of those folks living in those residences anymore. So right now, it's 54 people that they're still having to deal with or find out where they're at. But out of 500, that was pretty good return, I thought.
Comments or questions?
Mayor, if I could say, as you all can imagine, I know you know this without me saying it, but when you're taking in 440 something payments through a drive-through of cutoffs, customer service staff, they did a good job getting these processed in the time that they had to get it done. So I'd like to brag on them.
Thank you, and thank you, staff, for all your hard work on this.
I have a question, Mayor. Has anybody heard if there's going to be a warming center opened? And we had one at I think it was St. John's Episcopal, and a couple of years ago, I think they stopped that. Does anybody know if it's going to be opened? Possibly for these people, these 54 families that are left without electricity. I think next week we're going to have really some deep cold weather.
Well, out of those numbers, Ms. Sherry, only 16 gas disconnects. So that's still 60 people. I understand that, but the 54 were a majority of water.
Okay, so they still have electricity then.
Well, that would be up to Murray Electric. I don't know if they've cut them off or not.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Osborne. The next item under my mayor's report, as you know, recently, last week, our restaurants have been shut down to inside dining, and therefore several of our places of business have had to close or certainly readjust. Many employees have been laid off. And as you also know, the tax bills are due this time of year. So I'm going to ask the council to consider giving our citizens a little break on the tax bill. And that recommendation is this. As you know, when you get your tax bill, there's what they call the face amount. That's the amount of your tax bill, which is due November the 30th. And then those who wait and pay during the month of December, there's a penalty. And if they don't pay by December, there's another penalty. So I'm going to recommend that we extend payment of the face amount through December the 31st, as opposed to November the 30th. This will allow our folks, and I'm making this recommendation for all of our citizens, because the majority of our citizens have had to deal with some type of misfortune in their business or in their personal life during this pandemic. And if they're struggling a little bit to get the funds together to pay their property tax bill, then this will give them another month and to get this together without penalty, and perhaps even allow them to have a little Christmas. So that's my recommendation. If the council would like to take action on that.
Mayor, I think that's a great idea. This is Dan Miller. I'd like to move that we extend the penalty-free period until December 31st, 2020.
I'll second that.
I had a motion and several seconds to approve that recommendation. So, citizens of Murray, you will have until December 31st to pay your face amount of your tax bill without penalty. Yes, ma'am. The date?
Mayor, I'm just curious if we know how many have paid. I'm for the motion, but I'm just curious if we know approximately how many have already paid their taxes. Do you have any approximate idea on that?
No, I do not have that information.
Okay.
All right, you've heard the motion and the second. Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Say no. Then that motion is passed. I have another recommendation, item that has just come up today. And that is one of our local industries is wanting to have a significant expansion. They're wanting to add about $4 million to their business and employ approximately 40 people. The average salary of those people would be about $18.81 per hour. So this company has asked the state for a little help in the form of an incentive. And the state says that if the city will come up with some type of an incentive, then they will discuss that with us and approve the incentive money so that this company can do their expansion and hire these people. So I'm going to recommend to you that you give me the authority, if you're in favor of helping this company, give me the authority to work with the EDC and the state and on an incentive to help this company, and for me to bring you back that information when it's complete. That's another recommendation.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we give you permission to move forward with this. Anytime you can get new business or new employees into this community, the better off we all are.
Thank you.
Second.
Ms. Rouse made the motion. Did I hear a second? Did someone second that?
Second.
Second from Ms. Cherry. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise? That motion, that recommendation is also approved. Another item under the mayor's report. As I came in tonight, I was handing a sheet of paper wanting me to give this to you, which I will email it to you. Basically, it is concerning a petition that some citizens are putting together and asking citizens to sign, demanding that the mayor, city council, judge, fiscal court pass a mask mandate. And I will send this to you, and this particular person who brought this petition evidently couldn't get the names printed off, but I assume she'll get that to you or to us. But she's asking folks to call Judge and I and share with us your concerns, and we'll be glad for you to do that. I can assure you we are concerned, and we do hear you. We've met at least 5 times this week, as late as 2 o'clock today, trying to determine how to deal with this situation. But you're always welcome to call, sign a petition, or whatever you think you need to do. So we'll email you this, council members. The next item.
Mayor, and Mayor,
Yes.
just comment on that. I don't know how many of you got to see Governor Bashir's online show today, but I think a few businesses in our local area and some of them on up near Frankfurt in the other parts of the state have tried to keep their business in violation of his mandate. And I think one of them has even gone to the Supreme Court, and they've sided with the governor that he has the right to do this. They are starting to pull their liquor license and their business license on a state basis for some of these companies that are continuing to operate in violation of his mandate. So I think he's got the authority, and that'll probably spread on down to some of our local businesses. I saw where Marshall County had a special call meeting tonight. A lot of it's going to be on the 10 o'clock news tonight. I think it would be pertinent to Callaway County. I read the ordinance that Mayfield put out, and some of us wanted to copy the one that Mayfield put out. And, you know, basically it didn't have any teeth, shall I say, in it. I don't think it's just an ordinance saying we support it. But the governor has come in, I think, and has come down pretty heavy on these businesses. And I think he's going to take care of this for us, hopefully.
Thank you.
I'm in.
I did see today I saw what Graves County sent out, and looked like there was a health order put out by the head of the health department over there with the endorsement of the judge and the mayor. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yes.
correct. Yes. It has that petition, by the way, that you're going to send out to us. I've seen it. It has over 500 signatures on it. And it was just started, I think, about maybe a week ago.
Okay. Other comments? Questions? Okay. Next item, consider the renewal of the Republic sanitation contract. At the last meeting, you asked me to negotiate that contract, the renewal of that contract with Republic. We met with them the following week. They've made their proposal. We turned that proposal down because we did not think it was in the best interest of the city. We shared with them our concerns about the proposal. They came back a few days later with another proposal, and in that proposal, they did address all of our concerns. In that proposal, they actually even decreased the fee to the city for their services in the final year of the current contract, and then made the adjustments that we asked in the 4 years of the new contract. So it's our opinion, and our being our negotiating team of the finance department personnel, Mr. Albritton, Mr. Osborne, and myself, and it's our opinion that the Republic renewal proposal is a good one. And if you want to approve the renewal of that contract and thereby allowing our recycling folks the opportunity to move forward, then that's our recommendation.
Mayor, I move that we approve that new proposal.
Thank you, Ms. Siebert. You moved we approve the renewal,
Second.
and I had a second. So
One question, Mayor. Now you're asking us to vote on something we haven't seen,
say that again.
right? Are you asking us to vote on the proposal that we haven't seen?
I'm asking you to vote on the renewal of the Republic contract
Yeah,
beginning
we
in
haven't seen it yet.
2021. Sir,
We haven't seen it.
did they not receive a copy of this, Mr. Osborne?
Don't believe that went out, did it?
No,
It wasn't in our packet.
Well, if you'd like to wait 2 more weeks, we can do that. I can read it to you.
Can you summarize the changes, if there are any? You said they would reduce their cost to the city. Is there anything else that's different?
Well, in essence, whereas they reduced by 20 cents the cost per container in the final year of the contract. And then, Mr. Albritton, you want to chime in? I think I see you out there. Was it your opinion that they addressed every concern that we had? I thought I saw Mr. Albritton. Mr. Osborne, was it your opinion that they addressed our concerns?
I'm trying to unmute you.
Larry,
All right. I was trying to unmute there. Basically, with the rates that they give us, most especially for residential, we'll be able to go another 5 years without increasing our rates to the resident, which would put us at about 13 years without any kind of rate increase for the city residents. As far as the rules regarding collection and all, that would remain the same because those are the city's rules.
What's your pleasure? You want to put it off 2 weeks so you can look at it? Or you want
This
to,
Dan,
beg pardon?
yeah, and I second Ms. Seaver's motion, and let's go ahead and get this going and get the recycling done.
Okay. Well, we had a motion and a second to approve it, and we're going to vote on that motion. Okay. And I apologize if you didn't get a copy of the proposal. I thought we put that in your packet. All in favor of the motion to approve the renewal of the Republic Sanitation contract, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Is there any other business to be brought before the council tonight?
Mayor, before we leave that, discussion, what will we need to do now to start the recycling? You said this will allow us to begin our recycling. What is your recommendation on that?
What do we need to do for the recycling?
Past the agreement.
Right.
It was my understanding that as
When
soon
we
as,
could get these wheels going.
Mayor, I can answer that if you'd like me to.
it was my understanding that as soon as the decision was made to renew, that we would notify Republic. They would start making their arrangements and getting their equipment, and at the same time, our recycling committee is going to start signing up people to get on their list, and it's I'm going to leave that up to the committee. Mr. Albritton will work with you and our billing department, but I'm going to leave it up to y'all. There needs to be some education taking place. The people need to know exactly what they're signing up for. They need to know what contamination is. So then we just need to get an all-out effort. So I would suggest that the recycling committee reconvene and decide their strategy for getting the word out to the folks about signing up for recycling, curbside recycling. And then we would give that list to Republic. They would determine their route and then the date to start this process. Does that make sense to you all?
I have a question, Mayor Rogers.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Albritton gave us a good draft statement of what is acceptable recyclables and what is not acceptable. So we've got that. The holdup at this point that I don't have an answer to is who is going to take the requests, and how would a person in the city get their name on the list? Do they just need to call City Hall, or do they need to come in and fill out papers? Or is that what you want the committee to work out?
I want the committee and Mr. Albritton to work that out. I don't know how familiar folks are. Personally, I don't know the difference between 1, 2, and 3 plastic. For example, I see what they'll take, but I'm not familiar enough with it to know exactly which ones, plastic bottles or whatever. So
I think we've got I think we've got a pretty good handle on how to inform the public of what they can recycle and what they cannot recycle. What we don't have a good handle on is the actual administration of people signing up and billing, and when is it going to start. So do we need to have some additional people involved with that, Mr. Osborne?
Yeah, we'll need to work with our utility billing department because they'll be the one implementing. Warren, we have a recycling section in our current ordinance, so it can be tweaked, but that shouldn't stop us from investigating exactly how we're going to start getting these folks signed. So we'll.
Ron, you want to chime in anything on that?
Jim, let me ask a question. How about is the recycling work groups going to write the subscription phraseology, or will that be done by the city administration, or who?
That would be done by the administration and Mr. Hopkins.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I think really what we would look for the committee to do is once our utility billing section knows they want to email it, if they want a phone call, how they want that done. If the committee get out, drum up the business for people to sign up. Because I know Ron's had a few calls already. So
Yeah, we've,
Dr. Young?
Is the city hall going to be available for us to meet as a committee in person?
I would say,
we've already.
I would say no to the entire committee.
Well, yeah, I guess you could call it a committee, the work group.
There are 5 council members on the committee. I would suggest that you 5 get together and come up. I'd suggest you 5 come up with a plan and maybe have some subcommittees. I don't think you need to meet in groups any larger than 6. Okay?
Okay.
And I think we can socially distance that many, but to get the whole group in here, I think you need a smaller group.
Yeah.
You need to answer questions. Right now, there are more questions than there are answers, and you all need to get the answers to those questions. What we've done is to give you permission to proceed. Okay? And that was the big hurdle, and you got that hurdle across. So here we go. We'll help you any way we can. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion been made and second to adjourn the meeting. I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving and Godspeed.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank
All in
you.
favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Opposed? Thank you and good night.
Good night.